It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. I am One Bar, and it is Friday trivia time. We're talking running backs. We're talking rushing today. Before we get into that, subscribe, like the videos here every single damn day. But let's just hop right into it. You know how it works. Keep your answers in your melon until the end. I'll spit out the answers at you and see how you do. I think I'm going to say this is like middle of the road tough. I would probably go 4 for 5 out of this if I didn't know, which means I'd probably go 1 for 5 because I'm a liar. All right, let's just get into it. Number 1, Adrian Peterson, clearly the all-time rusher for Minnesota Vikings. Who's number 2? Who did he pass up to become the all-time leading rusher for the Minnesota Vikings? All right, number 2, who holds the record for the longest rushing touchdown as a Viking? Longest rushing touchdown. It was 95 yards. 95 yards. And I'm going to give you one more hint. And this is almost this is a spoiler. 2006. 2006. So take that year into consideration. All right, number 3. The Vikings in the early 90s had a fetish for signing or trading for these running backs that were maybe past their prime or not worth it. Herschel Walker, Barry Word. We saw a plethora, but I want one guy in specific. 1992, after a prolific career with the 49ers, this gentleman came and saddled up for 2 years for the Vikings. The magic was lost, by the way. I think he had about 500 yards in those 2 years combined. He was Terry Allen's counterpart. 1992, which former 49er saddled up with the Vikings for 2 years? All right, number 4. Which running back was surprisingly selected in round 2 of 2010 NFL draft? A little bit of a shock when we took this guy. It wasn't necessarily a need, and he didn't necessarily pan out that well. But we took him anyways, damn it. Who was it? All right, number 5, final. The all-time leading rusher at quarterback for the Vikings. All-time leading rushing quarterback for the Vikings in yards. Who was it? And this is close. It is by a pube. It is by less than 100 yards between these two guys. So who was it? All right, let's just go through this one more time. AP, all-time leading rusher. Who did he pass? Who was number 2? Who holds the record for the longest rushing touchdown, 95-yarder in 2006? Which former 49er great signed with the Vikings in 1992, played 2 years here? Which running back was surprisingly selected in round 2 of the 2010 NFL draft? And who is the all-time leading rushing quarterback for the Vikings? All right, pencils down. Here we go. Number 1, who was number 2 on the list? Who did AP pass? Bob Smith, baby. Robert Smith. Trying to throw a curveball at you, thinking some of you might go a different route, but it is Robert Smith. It is not Chuck Foreman. Who holds the record for the longest rushing touchdown, 95-yarder in 2006? That was Chester freaking Taylor. Chester Taylor. God, we had a pretty damn good running back there. Unfortunately for him, we took AP, but it worked out. All right, the former 49er great running back that signed with the Vikings in 1992, Roger Craig, baby. Roger Craig. Even though he didn't pan out overly great, and yes, it was the tail end of his career, I still love the fact that we had Roger Craig on the Vikings. All right, which running back was surprisingly selected in round 2 of the 2010 NFL draft? Stanford's own Toby Gerhart. He filled in a pinch a couple times, but he did get that big contract from the Jags, so he's doing all right. And the number 5, final, all-time leading rushing quarterback in yards for the Vikings. It is Fran the Man Tarkenton, but he barely beats Dante Culpepper. I think it was by about 80 yards or so, but it is Fran Tarkenton. All right, let me know how you did in the comments. I'm going to guess a lot of you. Probably go 3, 4 for 5. Let me know. Put in the comments. Remember, subscribe, like the video.